Everyone all set?
WPB, 30 seconds.
All right, I hereby call this meeting to order. I will be the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how this process is going to work. We generally hear building cases on the agenda first, and the city will call the cases as they appear on the agenda. When your case is called, we ask that you proceed to the podium on my right-hand side, which is over here. The city will, if you've appeared at the hearing today, your case will be called before those cases where no one has appeared, but that's only true if you have signed in the rear. So if you have not signed in with a code officer in the rear of the chamber, please do so at this time. Once your case is called, please come down here. The city will put on its testimony and evidence first, after which time you will have the opportunity to review any of this evidence, to ask any questions of any of the city's witnesses. You will also have the opportunity to testify and present me with any of your own evidence. Once all the testimony and evidence have been submitted, I will make a ruling. I will either enter a written ruling today, or you will receive a copy of it in your mail in the next few days. If you have any questions as we go through the process, please feel free to ask them. This is not a formal courtroom. Formal rules of evidence do not apply here. However, although this is not a formal courtroom, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you are going to testify today, or you think that you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask that you stand and raise your right hand so that I can swear you in. Anyone that's going to testify, please rise. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes, sir.
Please be seated. The city can call their first case.
Starting with agenda item number 3, case number CEBLD 24020523, case address 411 14th Street.
Is anyone here on behalf of the respondent?
No.
Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Tom Moore, Building Development Services. 411 14th Street is a rundown property. A lot of mischief in this area. But we witnessed some new windows being installed. We put a stop work order on that on February 23rd of this year. That was ignored, and work continued. Shortly after that, there was a carport on the side of the house. That was taken down. And then the work seemed to start on the interior. I don't know if we have some pictures. Yeah. They seemed to clear out the interior of the house. New lath, new stucco. It looked like some new electrical on the exterior. I personally haven't been inside the building. Then we witnessed stealing power from the meter, so we called FPL. They cut the drop, but the work continued and still continues. So they've ignored our request to stop work, although they did pull a permit for the windows after the fact. I'm not aware of any inspections. The rough openings on the permit, on the notices of acceptance that go with the permit, it says not to alter the size of the openings, and they clearly have in the pictures. So that requires an engineer or architect's detail of how to do it. And we would confirm through inspections that it was done properly. So none of that's happened yet. So the permit that they've pulled may just be to slow us down on our efforts to get this house safe. So what I think should be done would be to give them 60 days to expand the scope of the permit beyond the windows to include all the work that was done. It looks like they've tried to recover some of the roof, not with a typical recover procedure, but some patchwork. And I don't know what's been done inside, but there's been big piles of debris out back, so I think it's probably gutted, and maybe some new framing has happened, we're not sure. But I'd like to have the new scope of work include everything that they've done, or pull permits for everything that they're proposed to do, and we'll get this house safe again.
Good morning. The notice of violation, was it mailed to them?
It was returned.
It was what?
Returned.
Do you know returned as in return not deliverable?
Yes.
Okay, have you been in contact with the owner?
No.
Have you attempted to make contact with the owner?
We posted the building. We
Okay.
posted the city.
So it was mailed both certified and regular mail?
Yes.
Okay, and both were returned?
Yes.
Okay. Was a violation posted at City Hall?
Yes.
Was it posted on the property?
Yes.
Do you know what date it was posted on City Hall?
4/17,
In 4/17/2024?
24, yes.
And do you know what date it was posted on the property?
April 9th, 2024.
And did you take the photographs we're looking at here today?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Did you take these photographs?
Yes.
Okay, and do they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, they do.
And when did you take these photographs?
Between February 23rd and here recently of this year.
When was the last time you were out of the property?
This morning, or rode by.
And there was nobody at the property, correct?
Well, there was nobody working, but there was vagrants all over it, so I didn't get any close-up pictures.
You said that there was a permit that was recently applied for?
They issued.
Issued, okay, and when you viewed that permit, correct?
I'm sorry?
You reviewed that permit?
I didn't review it, no.
Okay. Do you know who applied for the permit?
I don't have the contractor's name. No.
Okay. I'd like to move the testimony, the photos, and the record into evidence, and there's nothing further from the city.
Accept those documents into evidence as city's composite exhibit. Don't they typically have contact information when they apply for a permit?
Yeah, I mean, what would you like to know?
I'm just curious why there hasn't been contact between the city and the contractor concerning this property.
Well, they haven't called any inspections yet. So usually we get, when we visit the site, is when we have face-to-face contact.
It'd seem logical to give them a call, wouldn't it, considering what's been going on here?
Oh, who?
The contractor that applied for the permit, right?
Well, it's been issued. There's a copy of their NOAs, of what they propose to do, but it doesn't really say, it doesn't give the plan reviewers a lot of information about the existing conditions, and only is what they propose to do. So the plan reviewers aren't aware.
Was this permit issued after the city had already posted a stop work order?
Mhm, yes. So it's like a step in the right direction, but it may only be, it doesn't cover all the work that was done, and it needs to be, need the scope of work expanded.
All right, so you're asking me to give them 60 days to obtain the appropriate permits?
Yes.
And what kind of fine were you looking for?
$50 a day.
All right, in case CEB LD 240205523, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of code sections FPC 105.1 and FPC 110.1. Specifically, they did not obtain appropriate permits before beginning work on the property. Responded has 60 days to bring the property in compliance by obtaining the appropriate permits, or a fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 5, case number CE 231000960, case address 306 Huron Place.
Good morning. I'm Kay Weaver, Code Officer with the City of West Palm Beach. I am presenting this case on behalf of Code Officer Raphael Forrester, who is out and has authorized me to present in his place. The occupied property at 306 Huron Place was observed by Officer Forrester while traveling through his zone to have several violations. An investigation was initiated and the following violations were observed and photographed by our Officer Forrester. The photos accurately and truthfully depict the violations observed. Property was cited on October the 31st of 2023 for the following violations. 105.1, failure to secure a building permit. FBC 110.1, work subject to inspection. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on November the 1st of 2023. The notice of violation was sent by regular certified mail, and it was signed for November the 3rd of 2023. Contact has been made with the property owner. Permits have been applied for but not yet completed or issued yet. The property is still in violation of the codes 105.1 and FBC 110.1. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Good morning. Can you specify what the exact the violations are? And what I mean by that is, what did you observe in the photographs that were actually the violations?
Okay, he observed, I don't know where's photos. He wanted the building for, this is an old picture, this is where it used to be a carport.
Okay.
It's now a garage. So he's wanting a building permit for that, and then also wants that to get inspected. But there is the pavers are the
pavers, I'm sorry, I didn't know if it's my turn to speak.
The pave, there's a picture of pave that the permit
The
is.
garage and the garage is, the permit's already been taken care of.
Okay, so the
That's done.
pave is in a moment when we get to the picture, I'll show you the picture of the,
Extension, the driveway extension,
right. Needs a permit.
and that's
There. So that's what's in process still.
Okay, and what do you mean process? There's been a permit that's been applied for?
It's been applied for.
Been issued?
No, it has not been issued. They are currently, it has to be approved by engineering zoning, which they are doing it. They have a date as of, it will be completed on or before 5/28.
28.
Okay, and based on your conversation with the inspector that took these photographs, they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as he observed them?
Yes.
Okay. And what are you asking for?
He's asking for 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day.
Okay. And that's for the permit on the driveway?
That's for the permit and also getting it inspected.
Okay. I'd like to move the testimony, photos, and the record and the evidence. Nothing further from the city.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Elizabeth Gordon?
Do you have any objections to the city's documents coming into evidence?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept an evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. So the city says you have a garage and a driveway, though you said the garage has been permitted?
Yes. Yes, the building inspector came out and the permit was issued for the garage and the wall. So that was done. The driveway extension, when I first applied in February, I submitted the survey incorrectly. So that's what took a little longer for them to get it.
The city wants to give you 60 days. Is that a sufficient enough time to bring this, get this
I
permit
think
done?
so. They have on the portal that the date for completion be 28?
28.
28, so I'm hoping before then, but,
Yeah, then that should be plenty.
okay.
All right, in case CE 231000960, make the following findings of fact and life find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of the listed code sections. Specifically, they need to obtain permits for the work on the property, including the driveway. Responded to 60 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you.
Agenda item 13, case number CE 24021511, case address 3714 Westview Ave.
Is someone here for that one? No? Okay. Okay, good morning. I'm Kay Weaver, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. On February 23rd of 2024, while riding in my zone, I observed several violations at 3714 Westview Avenue. I took photos of the property and violations which accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations. 74-34-A-1-8 H, trash can in public view, that has been complied. 94-71-C, outdoor storage, that has been complied. 34-102-A, junk, abandoned vehicle, that has been complied. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, including pressure washing, that has been complied some, but not totally complied. And the last one is 105.1, failure to secure building permit for the brick pavers covering the front yard. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on April the 4th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on April the 4th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on February the 28th of 2024. The certified mail was returned. I revisited the property on May 14th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 18-106A and 105.1. Reinspection photos were taken on May 14th of 2024 showing the remaining violations that were uploaded to the case, and they were uploaded to the case. I haven't had any contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Good morning. You said you weren't able to make any contact with the property owner, correct?
Correct.
Did you post a notice of violation? You mailed it to him, correct?
Right, we did served every way, mail, certified, posted
Okay.
in City Hall.
And the photographs that we observed, you took these photographs?
Yes,
Do they truthfully and accurately represent what you observed on the day you took them?
yes.
Okay, and the partial compliance, can you explain what you mean by partial compliance on 18106A?
On the picture, he did some pressure washing, the sidewalks. In the bottom part of the driveway itself, it wasn't touched. And then if you see the bricks, how they have some stuff on the bricks. But if you see the sidewalks, they have been pressure washed. So it's just a matter of the bricks and then the actual main part of the driveway that's left.
Okay. The city would like to move the testimony, photos, and record into evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. You said on the clean and sanitary, is it the pressure washing that's left?
The pressure washing, okay. And then you see how I outlined that main driveway, and then at the curb in the road, there's some gathering of debris where that needs to be cleaned up, something it can be done in a day. But yes, that's remaining, but he has made an attempt to do some of it.
Okay. And the building permit is for the brick pavers?
Pavers covering the entire front yard. At one point in time, he applied It expired because he had to resubmit, and so it never got approved, it never got issued. And so he just went ahead, I guess, and put the pavers in.
Okay, in case CE 2402151, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation of 105.1, specifically the failure to obtain a building permit for the brick paver section in the front part of the lawn, and 18106A, clean and sanitary for pressure washing and debris on the property. Responded at 60 days to come into compliance or fine of $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
So that concludes the building cases. Moving on to the regular agenda item number 6, CE 24041758. Case address is 955 McIntosh Street.
Is there someone here on behalf of the respondent?
I have Miss Minnie Gratz.
Good morning. Richard Pazmino. I am currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. I was patrolling my zone on April 5th, 2024, and saw the violations on the property of a damaged fence, chain link fence, gate, and pool barrier, exterior wall, siding damage, damaged window frame, garbage can placed in the front setback. And upon research, I discovered an expired permit from 2016 for an AC changeout. The property located at 955 McIntosh Street appears vacant. And there I observed those violations. The code sections for those are 94302A4, FBC 105.4.1, 7434A1H, 18103E, 94304E2 1B. I first observed them April 5th. I then created a notice violation, which identified the violations, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The city issued a notice violation to the property owner, Midway Exchange TRS1 LLC. The notice violation was noticed by certified mail and regular mail on April 8th, 2024 by the city's clerk, and I posted the notice violation on the property in City Hall on April 8th, 2024. I completed the affidavit of posting on April 8th, 2024. It is attached in the case file. I revisited the property yesterday, May 14th, 2024, and observed that all violations are still in existence with no compliance. I took photographs, which are attached to the case, and they truthfully and accurately depict the violations I observed. In the attachments are a copy of the permit history, which showed the expired permit. I've had no contact with the owner, and the city is asking for 30 additional days to comply with the violations. If no compliance is achieved, city is asking for a daily fine of $250 a day.
Good morning.
Morning.
How much time are you asking for?
30 additional days.
And is that reasonable?
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to confirm this. The pictures you took accurately and truthfully represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, they do.
Okay, and you said you did not have contact with the property owner, but do you know whether or not we received via return mail the certified mail or mailing of the affidavit / notice violations that we mailed out?
It was signed for.
It was signed for?
Yes. And
Okay.
That's that one right there.
Okay. I'd like to move the testimony, photos, and record into evidence. Nothing further.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Nasir Mini Gratz.
I'm sorry, your last name?
Mini Gratz.
Bill Gratz? And what's your relationship to the owner here?
I'm the resident service coordinator, so I'm here for the hearing.
So you're employed by the owner?
Yes.
And what do you do, sir? What do you do?
Handle city violations, compliance.
So the owner owns a series of properties and you help maintain those properties?
Yes, we own properties and we maintain the properties.
Do you have any objections to the documents the city would like to put in evidence?
No, I'm aware of few of the violations. I know we have some work orders for them.
Hold on one sec. I'll let you tell me what you want me to know. Just for the record, I'm going to accept into evidence the evidence case file. In this case, the city's composite exhibit. Let me just ask the officer, all of the code sections that you've cited, were they still in violation on your last inspection?
Yes, as of yesterday, all violations still exist.
Tell me about the permit that wasn't issued. What was that for?
There was an expired permit attached to the property. It's permit number 16070161 for an AC changeout. That was from 2016.
Could you observe whether the work was performed?
I cannot. No, I wasn't able to observe.
How would the respondent bring that into compliance? Do they have to get the permit reissued, or if they didn't do the work, can they not just allow their permit to expire?
It would be up to the building department. They have to reach out to the building department, and if the work wasn't done, usually it could get closed out, or they would have to reissue the permit and get an inspection to close it out.
So, Mr. Milgratz, tell me what's going on here.
That's what we're trying to figure out what the violations are for. I know we have a fence, but I don't see why we would have to permit if we didn't own the property during that time. So I would have to see with my team, speak with our rental registrations to see if they're willing to get a permit for a point in time for a property that we didn't own at the time.
When was so it's an AC permit, not a fence permit, if I understand correctly?
Yeah, the expired permit is for an AC. I did cite for fence maintenance, but the fence looks like it probably needs to be replaced, which would require a permit.
Can that be done in 30 days?
If it's repaired, it can be. If it's going to be replaced, it would need additional time. But to repair it, it would need some extensive repairs.
Mr. Pazmino, for the respondent, can you go through these and tell them exactly what the violations are?
94302A4 is for the fence and fence maintenance. The chain link fence and gate on the property are disrepaired, falling apart. The chain link is falling off of the rail, and the gate is not functional. Florida Building Code 105.4.1, that's the expired permit. The 2016 permit for AC changeout. 7434A1H is the garbage can being stored in the front setback. It would have to be stored somewhere out of view. 18103E is condition of structures, windows. There are exterior windows visible from the street where the window frame is hanging off. It needs to be repaired. And 94304E21B is for the pool barrier fence. It is in disrepair and would need to be repaired and made functional and safe. That one.
Mr. Milgratz, do you understand everything that the city is alleging here?
Yes. The pool barrier fence and the gate, and then also the permit.
I'm sorry, the first code, oh no, where is it? The conditions of structure, 18103E, also includes the exterior siding and wall, right there.
Okay.
Above.
So that's molding and mildew?
It looks like the siding is missing completely, like there was some damage to the structure. Could you go up a little bit, Monique? Right there.
Okay, no problem. And I'll be able to have those photos to share. That way we can make sure we're getting the right work done.
If you reach out, or we can meet at the property, or
All right, this is what I'm going to do in this case. I don't know about FBC 105.4.1 because allowing a permit to expire is not necessarily a violation, though. If you did put in an AC, then you might have a failure to obtain a permit, but I'm not going to make a finding on that one. But for the rest of it, I'm going to give you 60 days to get this done, and I'm going to ask you to work with the code officer to make sure that you let them know when you're doing these things. It seems like there's a failure of communication here, and especially if it's your job to make sure you comply with the
Magistrate?
city.
Can I interject?
Yep.
As far as the expired permit, that is a violation, and it will even hold up like a sale of the property or any refinancing of the property. You cannot have an expired permit. He has to open the permit and either prove that the work wasn't done and have it closed, or if the work was done, then it has to be inspected and closed. Expired permit, he won't even be able to sell the property, or a title company will not go forward.
Yeah, I'm a little less concerned about what the title company will do and whether or not it actually constitutes a violation under the code.
yeah, I was advised while researching a property to include those on violations.
Let me ask the city attorney. What do you think?
So you don't know one way or the other whether or not the work was actually done in regards to the AC installation?
No, I know the permit was issued, it was applied for by
Okay.
a contractor, issued, and
May I inquire of the
Expired.
respondent, Special Magistrate?
Go ahead.
Sir, do you know whether or not the AC was actually installed?
I don't know if the AC was installed or not. Actually, I just got hands on this property not even a week ago, so I'm new to these violations still.
You said you just got involved with this property a week ago?
Yeah, because we have so many properties and we have a big team, so this just got put in front of me. But I'm sure if we did the AC, we would have done our best to see the permit through. If it was from 2016, I mean, my team's just gonna tell me that. I mean, I don't know if we done the work. They're not gonna know if they done the work either. I mean, I just started with the company. I'm not sure if they're gonna know if they done the work from 2016.
Okay, I guess my next question is, are you authorized to speak on behalf of the owner?
Yes, I'm authorized. I have documented proof if you
Okay,
need that.
would you be able to provide us that documentation? Maybe not right now, but after this hearing?
Yes, I can email it to you.
Okay, can you please give us that, give it to one of the city members here in a second? Special Magistrate, I do take in consideration what Mr. Joyce said. I think while there may be some concern about whether or not it is a violation, I do think it is, I think there's a question as to whether or not it has been complied with. So I'll believe it's the discretion of the Special Magistrate.
The thing I would add is also it becomes a health, safe, life risk, because we don't know what work was done and if it was done correctly, and that's why they have them open the permit, and if you haven't done the work, show it, and then they'll close it. But if, right now, the work could be done improperly.
I don't disagree with any of this, but what am I saying what provision of the code am I saying that they violated?
105.4.1.
But what specifically in there did they do that's a violation?
They never got the inspections and allowed the permit to expire.
Yeah, but all it says is that every permit issued shall become invalid unless the work authorized by the permit is commenced within 6 months after its issuance. If the work authorized by such permits is suspended or abandoned appears 6 months after such time the work is commenced. It doesn't tell, I mean, I'm trying to understand what their duty under this here is that they violated. I don't disagree with you. I mean, those are all valid reasons and things that the city should be concerned with, but I have to hold them to something that they didn't do that they were supposed to do. unless I'm misreading this, I'm open to help here, but I don't, I'm trying to see what I'm trying to find them for not doing.
For that, not that I know. Yeah, it says the same thing.
I'm kind of looking for something that says that after a certain amount of time, you have to either close the permit or do the work.
It's 6 months.
Special Master, I think the trouble we're having here is the lack of the detail, both from the owner and on our behalf, as to whether or not the AC was actually installed. So maybe a suggestion I would propose is we could defer on this particular FPC violation and roll it over to the next hearing while the respondent figures out or provides documentation as to when that actual AC was installed.
That seems reasonable. Do you think you can do that? Find out about what the status of the AC is and whether or not you guys actually did the work?
Yeah, I can find out if we done the work and then get that over for sure.
Right, I mean, you see the distinction here is that if you did the work and didn't get a permit, that's a violation, right?
Right.
Right,
If we
and
did the work, then we didn't get the permit.
If
we'd
you
have
did the
to-
work, then you have to go get a permit,
Right.
right?
If we didn't do the work and then
You didn't do the work, what you probably should have done is you should have called the city and closed out the permit. Which is, you should have said, you know, we're not gonna do the work even though we applied to do it, and then the city would have closed it out. The problem that you created for the city is you opened a permit and the city has no resolution of the permit, so, you know, it's a problem, right? Because, you know, the city is rightly concerned that if you did work that's not been inspected and permitted, there could be a health and safety issue here, right?
Right. Yeah, so I'll definitely go and find out. I know it's from 2016, so
Yeah, so let me do it this way. I'll do in case CE 240411758, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of each of the listed code sections 94302A4, 7434A1H, and 18103E, and 94304E21B. I specifically adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. I make further finding that respondent had a permit issued for the AC in 2016 and has not resolved that permit. I give the respondent until the next code meeting to obtain the status of the work on that permit, and I reserve ruling on a potential violation until that information is provided. All right, you understand what you have to do?
yes, thank
All
you.
right, great, thank you.
And sir, can you give me your email, please?
Yes, my email is N Minigratz, my last name.
Can you spell it?
M as in Mary, INNEYGRATZ at rentprogress.com.
Can you spell that for me too, please?
RENTPROGRESS.com.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Agenda item number 4, case number CE 24021470, case address 611 51st Street.
City of West Palm Beach Code Officer Robert Watkins. While on patrol, I noticed the property at 611 51st Street. I observed excessive growth, trash and debris, and landscape maintenance. This property was cited on February the 14th. The NOV was created on, February the 14th as well. The NOV was posted on February the 20th. Certified mail was sent February the 14th by the clerk along with regular mail. Certified mail was delivered on February the 17th. City Hall was posted on February the 20th. I have completed affidavit of posting on February the 20th. I revisited this property on 2 different occasions, on April the 17th, as well as May the 1st, when it came into compliance. Oh, sorry, I have to backtrack. This property was also cited for a repeat violation. And the repeat violation was for the excessive growth and landscape maintenance. All the photographs that I took truthfully and accurately pick every violation that I saw on the property. I haven't had any correspondence with the property owner till I seen him today. The city is requesting for this fine for the repeat violation that went for a total of 78 days, for a fine of $15 per day, for a grand total of $1,178. And the repeat violation that this stems from is case CE 23080442 that was cited on August the 14th, 2023, that came into compliance after the extension was given on November the 20th, 2023. And the violations from that was 18-106B and 18-106M, which is landscape maintenance and excessive growth.
Good morning. So, just to clear something up, the repeat violation, you said it was complied with at some point, right?
Yes,
And it's the overgrowth?
yes, it was a landscape maintenance and excessive growth.
Okay. And how much time are you asking for?
No, they're in compliance now. As of today, everything is in compliance. It actually came into compliance on May the 1st.
Okay, so all 4 of these violations are in compliance?
Yes.
Okay. I'll move the testimony, photos, and record and evidence. Nothing further.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Michael Sawney,
And what is your relation to the owner?
her son.
You're the son of Leslyn Sawney,
Correct.
and you're Michael Sawney?
Correct.
Sir, do you have an objection to the documents the city would like to put in evidence?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept an evidence the arbitrary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. So tell me what's going on here.
I do have some issues with the property. There are conditions where every day I come home, I see a lot of garbage on my property from the,
Sir, do you live at this property?
yes. I see a lot of bottles and cans and other trash on the property, but I don't put it there. So I don't like being cited for things that I have personally not done. You know, I'm a retired United States Marine Corps officer. I'm very clean. I've been trained, for 9 years about cleanliness, about picking up everything. But every evening I come home, I have to pick up at least 8 to 10 bottles and soda cans and trash from the hookahs and the johns and it's frustrating me to a point where, what am I going to do? I'm not putting the garbage there. As far as the maintenance, I have taken care of that. I've actually fired 2 landscape people who clean up because they're not coming to do the job. They're telling me, oh, I have a bigger job, so I'll come. I have decided to do it myself, even though I'm disabled. I went out and I bought a lawnmower myself, and I've cleaned up the property. I've even gone a couple steps ahead of that. I've totally repainted the properties. I've planted trees. So I'm doing my best to keep the property up. But the problem is there's garbage being dumped onto my property every single day. Even yesterday, I picked up 5 soda cans, and 3 bottles, and 2 small bottles of alcohol. And it's just being dumped. People are just coming and they're just dumping things there. I'm not the one doing it. I'm a very clean person. I take pride, Marine Corps pride, in everything I do. And it frustrates me that I'm being charged and brought to court for things that I am not doing.
Well, I appreciate that. You're not the only property in this city or any other city in which, people have dumped trash on. What the law requires is that we maintain our property. So even if we're not the cause of it, we're responsible for it. But I do appreciate your frustration there. I think the main concern here, though, was not the trash and debris. I believe the repeat violation was the excessive growth and the landscape maintenance.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that was the main issue that brought you back as a repeat violation.
I have contracted with two particular, and I think you know who one of the contractors is. He just does not come and do the job. And I decided, okay, you're fired, I'm gonna go and buy, at my own expense, a lawnmower. And I said, I'm disabled, but I still cut the grass. So everything has been brought up to the city codes, and it's no longer gonna be a problem, because I'll cut the grass myself. Even at injuries to me, but I'll do it, because I can't trust other people to come and cut the grass. They're just not coming. They're telling me, oh yeah, well, I'll come next week, I'll come next week. And so the grass grows. So I've cut it, and I'm sure you've noticed on your rounds that the grass has been cut.
Yes, it has. I noticed it on May the 1st, the first time I came by. In April, it was just the front. The rear wasn't cut, or the setback by the front wasn't cut. So I couldn't comply for partial. Then when I went back again on May the 1st, I noticed that the whole entire thing was cut. So that's exactly when I complied.
I've even cut it yesterday again, just to make sure it's really, really done.
Officer Watkins, so why this particular fine?
It was for number one, it's a repeat violation. I didn't want to, I felt, knowing the circumstance from last time we were here, that it would be unjust to him to give him an egregious amount that he couldn't pay, $20 or something like that every day for the repeat. So then when I thought about it, I just said $15 for each day was suffice for the violation number.
But the violation was not done facetious. I had two contractors in place to come and cut the grass. None of them came. When I told them, listen, I'm being fined, I have to go to court because of you guys. Oh, we'll be there. And they just don't show up.
Yeah.
It's not that I wasn't trying to get this in compliance.
Yeah. Unfortunately, last year, it was the exact same thing. And in August of last year, I think it was like 2.5 months that you had for compliance. And it was the same issue with the contractors, and then you were given, if I'm not mistaken, another 30 days. So it's been a total almost 9 months, to keep the property up in compliance and keep it cut. That was one of the also reasons why, because I went down that whole street. If you've not noticed, there's all the houses on that street have either had grass put down, painted, and cut, and looking way nicer than they have. And unfortunately, when I came down there, that grass was yet almost the same height as it was before, front and back. And there was just trash and debris everywhere, and I couldn't just pass it, inciting every other house on that street.
For that period of time, I was outside of the country.
Yeah.
I'm a foreign-born national. I had to go back to my home country to take care of some aging grandparents. So I wasn't there, but I gave specific orders to the landscape people who I was paying to maintain the grass. They never did.
You have my number on there. You should, next time, if it comes the next time, just give me a call, and certain things can be worked out over the phone. This is my first time, always speaking to you here in magistrate. My number is on the violation. My email is on the violation. You could mail it, email it, call. You just have to reach out, because I can't assume, or I don't want to assume. To me, it's just been neglected, not knowing what's going on, and you've had the violation notice, and it shouldn't be the first time I hear from you in here, and this is like our second go around with this property. So, magistrate, if you think that amount is too low or too high, but to me, the $15 a day was pretty reasonable for it being a repeat violation.
Officer Watkins, is the property currently in compliance with all of the sections that are listed here?
Yes.
So you're just seeking a finding of repeat violation and a fine for the days it was out of violation, which was 78 days?
70, it was a total of 78 days out of compliance.
That's what I'll do. In case CE 2402140, make a finding of law that the notice is good and sufficient, excuse me. Find the property was in violation of 18106M and 18106B, and I make further finding that said violation constitutes a repeat violation. I'm going to assess the property a fine of $10 per day for 78 days for a total fine of $780. And I hope I don't have to see you. Good luck, sir.
Agenda number 9, case number CE 24021438, case address 516 29th Street.
Good morning. Good morning, Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Officer. I had received a complaint for property 51629. I investigated the complaint on February 7th, 2024. It was occupied. The violations I discovered were 18-103-B, the condition of structures. The rear structure in the property, it's collapsing. They received approval from the Historic Preservation Board. As of right now, the permit needs to be resubmitted and be approved so they can demo the property. The property was cited on 2/12/2024. Certified and regular mail were sent on February 12, 2024. Notice violation was posted at the property and City Hall on April 4th, 2024. That's when I had first contact with the property owner. I completed the affidavit of posting. It's in the files. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. As of yesterday, the property is still in violation. The city is asking for 120 days or $500 a day until compliance is achieved.
Oh, 500.
Good morning. When did you first observe the property in the state that we're observing here in these photographs?
February 7th, 2024.
Okay, and it's still in that condition?
Yes,
Okay, and you're asking for 120 days?
which is, that's what we came to agreement prior, before 120 days, which is 4 months, and $500 a day if they don't comply within that time.
Okay, so after the 120 days, you're asking for a $500 a day fine?
Correct.
Okay. In the pictures you took, they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and do you think 120 days is reasonable?
Yes, they have to resubmit a permit. They already got approved by the Historic Preservation Board. They had already submitted a permit in 2023. It just expired, so they just have to resubmit, so they already know most of the guidelines, and I will be taking them to the building department after this, so they can get that submitted, and any questions they have further can be answered by them.
All right, thank you. I'd like to move the testimony, photos, and record in the evidence. Thanks.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Christopher Steinbach.
And you're the owner of the property, sir? Do
Yes, sir.
you have any objections to the city's documents coming into evidence?
No, sir.
Without objection, I'll accept the city's case filing.
The only objection, $500 a day, I mean, I do anticipate to get it done before 4 months. That's my hope.
Hold on one second.
But
Hold on one second. I'll let you tell me anything you want me to know. Let me just
Okay.
finish. I'm going to accept the documents and evidence of city's composite exhibit. Okay, go ahead, sir.
So I first submitted or requested a permit to be submitted in January of 2023. I hired a contractor to do a demo. This is before the city was even involved. The gentleman represented himself as a contractor. He was not a licensed contractor. It took me 6 months to get my money back. And I had him removed from the city, removed him. And then that was in June. And then in September is when I applied for a permit to be done. And the reason it nothing's happened on the permit as far as work-wise is because my brother, who's been living in the back unit for like 18 years, he has had prostitutes, drug dealers, all kinds of stuff. He's preventing me from getting any access to the back property. So we finally started eviction, and started that in February, and the judge, this was in, let me look here. The hearing was April 25th of last month, and the judge said, can you give him another week? And if you give him another week, we'll just dismiss this, but with a stipulation that he has until May 2nd to be out. So she gave him like an extra week, which I didn't want to do, but the judge said, can you give it to him? So when the judge asks you to do that, you say, okay, fine. May 2nd came and went, he did not get out. So he had to go back to court for her to issue a final judgment, and for the sheriff to post a notice of, whatever you call it, the writ of possession, okay? The sheriff came out, posted the writ of possession. As he was coming out, one of the things that he did was he ripped the address that I readdressed the property, because that was one of the things for the permit, to readdress that unit, because it was 516 and a half. He ripped the numbers off the wall so that the sheriff couldn't serve him. So the sheriff came, I've been waiting for the sheriff to show up, and I just happened to look out the window, and a postman was walking by, and I saw this car looking for something, and I said, can I help you? And he said, Deputy Sheriff, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, that's who I'm looking for. He said, do you know where 518 is? I said, it's back here. So I explained to him, told him what happened. He ripped the numbers off the wall, and he's like, I said, I have numbers right here. That's why they're not, I'll put new numbers on the wall. So I did, put the new numbers back on the wall, and he posted the notice. He went back there and posted the notice to vacate within 24 hours. That was last Thursday. He said he would call me on Monday, this past Monday, to schedule to come out Tuesday. Well, that was yesterday, and I still haven't received a call for him to come out. So I'm hoping within the next day or so they'll be out there. But he's still there. My brother and whoever other drug dealers or whatever are still there. So I haven't been able to get back there. He's got 2 pit bulls that he sicks on me when I try to go in the backyard. So I can't hire any contractors. I can't do anything. I can't even get into the backyard to get any work done. If I touch the electricity or the water, he'll hold it against me with the court saying that I turned off the water or turned off the electricity, so I can't do anything until he's out. So that's why no work has been done. So I want to get the work done, but I can't. Since the notice was posted, when I put the new numbers off, he ripped them off again. And the sheriff said those numbers need to be on the wall in order for them to evict him. So I have new numbers again, so when the sheriff does come out again, I'm gonna post those numbers on the wall again. But that's what I've been dealing with in trying to get this work done. He was out there, when he saw me in February, my brother was representing himself as the owner of the property, and I said, excuse me, I said, why are you talking to me? He said, oh, he says he's the owner of the property. I said, no, he is not the owner of the property. I'm the owner of the property. So that's what I've been dealing with.
It sounds like you have a lot of challenges going on here. I think the city's given you 120 days, which is
I know.
4 months.
That's
Considering,
what I asked,
assuming
because-
the eviction happens this week, that seems a reasonable amount of time. Do you not
Yeah.
agree?
The only thing I say is like the $500, it's not like I haven't been trying to do the work. I just haven't been able to do the work because I've been obstacles. But he should be out hopefully this week. And then I can get back there and assess what needs to be done. That's the only thing. If he said like $100 a day if I didn't comply, that would be more reasonable, because it's not like I haven't been wanting to do the work.
What's the city's
Oh,
response?
the 500 is because, as you can see, the structure, how it's a safety to the public.
And
to
I
the
get that, I
neighbors.
understand that, yeah.
And it's more towards, we want you to comply within those 4 months. The fine won't happen to you unless you comply. So if you don't comply, you're gonna get the fine. So my best bet, what city says, if you comply within those 4 months, which is reasonable amount of time considering everything you're going through with your brother and eviction, you should be able to complete that. The fine is only there to encourage you to get stuff done.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just think that, it's embarrassing to be here. This is not, I don't want to be here for this,
Well, you shouldn't be embarrassed. This is just this is a normal municipal process. This is what I'll do. In CE 240214338, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I find the property in violation 18103B, specifically the structure, is in disrepair. Give the respondent 120 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $250 per day may issue. Good luck, and please stay in
Thank you very
touch
much.
with the code officer and let them know your progress. Okay?
Appreciate it.
Agenda number 12, case number CE 24031567, case address 812 39th Court.
I think this is your third return to us, huh?
I have one more after this. Good morning.
Good morning.
Code Officer Kay Weaver with the City of West Palm Beach. Arriving in my zone, I observed several violations at 812 39th Court. I took photos of the property and the violations observed on the property, and then I initiated my investigation. On March 5th, citing the following violations. The property was cited for 74-4-C-4, trees, hedges obstructing the right-of-way, which has been complied. 18106A, clean and sanitary, which has been complied. 94-487-B-5, screening restricted vehicles. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on April the 4th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on April the 4th of 2024, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified mail and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA, and on March 12th it was returned. I revisited the property on May 14th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of 94-487-B-5. Reinspection photos were taken on May 14th, and they do show the remaining violations, and they were uploaded to the case. I have been in constant contact with the property owner, who stated that it is, they originally stated that it was the brother's son's boat, but she has allowed him to park it on her property. The city is requesting an additional 90 days to gain compliance, or $100 a day until compliance is achieved. And in talking with the owners, I did explain to them the proper way that it needs to be screened, which we will go across the way when we finish here, so that she can come into compliance.
And just for the record, what is the proper way? What was your suggestion? Go ahead.
It has to be screened on 3 sides. If you show other pictures, there needs to be, and like I told her, she doesn't have to get her whole property fenced, but at least the side and then the back. There's some pictures of the back, and you can see it also. Has to be properly screened with at least a 6-foot fence or divider.
And I mean, for a fence, you would have to probably obtain a permit.
Exactly, that's why we're gonna go across.
Okay, and do you think 90 days to do that and install it is reasonable?
If it's done correctly, as far as everything submitted correctly, then yes, it should go through.
Okay.
Because they're not, the only way they get behind, or getting behind in permits now, is if people are not submitting what they should submit and submitting it in a timely fashion.
Okay. And the photographs that we're looking at here truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to move the testimony, photographs, and the record of the evidence. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Eileen Clark.
You're Eileen Clark?
Yes.
And who do you have with you?
Her sister, Deborah.
And what is your relation to this case?
I'm her sister.
Your sister, okay. Ms. Clark, do you have any objection to the city's documents coming into evidence?
No.
Without objection, I'll accept into evidence the evidence case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit. The city wants to give you 90 days to figure out how to screen your, is that a boat?
The boat, yes.
Yeah, boat. Is that enough time for you?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that the boat has to be properly screened?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, in case CE 24031567, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient for the property in violation of 9447B5. Specifically, there is a boat parked on the property that is not properly screened, and respond has 90 days to come into compliance, or a fine of up to $100 per day may issue. Good luck, and please work with the code officer.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 18, case number CE 24041877, case address 3075 45th Street.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On patrol April 11th and April 22nd of 45th Street. I observed violations at 3075 45th Street. The violations I observed is prohibited banners and balloons. Also observed prohibited signs being posted on being posted on trees and poles. The property was also cited for repeat violation. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted May 1st. Certified mail and regular mail was sent April 24th. Certified mail was signed for May 7th. The underlining case for the repeat violation is CE 23020242. That order was issued March 15th, 2023. That order came into compliance on February 28th, 2023. One-time fine was issued in that violation as well. The repeat violation is 94-402-B.2-2, prohibited banners. That violation did come into compliance on May 1st. The violation 94-402-B.2-11. City is requesting a finding on that violation. It did come into compliance, but not in a timely fashion. I did make contact with the representative of the property and let them know what was going to transpire at the hearing today. With that being said, the property was out of compliance for 10 days at $200 a day. City is requesting a one-time fine of $2,000 for the repeat violation and a finding for 94-402-B.2-11.
Good morning, Mr. McFarland. So the violation 94-402-B.2-2, that came into compliance, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And how long was it not in compliance?
10 days.
10 days? And is that the basis for the repeat, or is that the next violation?
That's the basis of the repeat.
Okay. And you had said that the next violation, which is 94-402-B.2-11, came into compliance, but it was, I guess, untimely?
Yes.
Okay. And how long?
I have compliance photos there if you just scroll up. That's the posting photos. Should be under an inspection. Should be another inspection photo there. Should be another list of inspection photos there.
Complied, yeah, complied.
There it is.
Gotcha.
5/6.
Okay. Um,
That's when these signage were removed off the poles.
Okay. And the photographs we've observed in the case file truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to move the testimony, photos, and record into evidence. Thank you.
Can you tell me your name is, please?
Good morning. My name is Morgan Misland. I'm a district manager from the franchisee.
Of Intergalactic Burger Corp.
Yes.
Yes.
And your name, sir?
Jean, the GM for the location.
So tell me what's going on with your signs here.
Well, it's a sign we received from corporate for advertising. Obviously, we didn't know that we was not supposed to, put them on the tree. And we removed them when we received the certified letter. So when I opened the letter and I called my boss, I said, we gotta remove all the sign. And that's when we complied with the request that the gentleman was stated. And we took everything off the property, the trees, and every advertising, we're taking everything out. So now the property is free of advertising, nothing on the tree, nothing, and everything is removed.
This is the second time around, though.
I'm not aware of the second time, my first time. I've been here for over a year, it's the first time I've seen this.
No, the first letter is personally, we never received
No, we
it
only
until
received-
the certified.
Yeah, we only get the certified later.
And when we receive it, we remove it. We let the corporate know right away that do not send
Officer
anything.
McFarland, when was the initial violation that was complied with that's the basis for the repeat violation?
When I first observed it, or
No, when was the first violation that they were fined for? When did that happen?
oh, the repeat when it was well, the order was issued March 15th, and it was out of compliance for 10 days as well.
So like
So
less than a year ago?
February 18th-ish.
Yeah, a little
was
over a
when
year
it was
ago.
observed again the second time around. Now, I do want to go on record as well. The first time around, I made conversation with a representative of the property, so they were aware. So,
A representative of the property or the Intergalactic Burger Corporation?
they represented the ownership of the property. Yes.
Could it be an employee?
They represented the ownership of the property.
Only one is,
I don't know if it was an employee, they didn't specify they were an employee.
only one is our
They
host.
specified they represented the ownership of the property.
Yeah, I have a Blue Heron location as well, and couple weeks before this, we have some, city represent that told us the same thing, and we removed at Blue Heron location, and then couple weeks, that's when I got a phone call from him.
All right, this is what I'll do. In case, how did you arrive at the $200 per day?
That's $200 a day, out of compliance for 10 days,
Yeah, I mean, how did you arrive at the amount of $200?
because it's the second repeat. That's why I upped it from 150 from the first time I encountered it. So I just increased the $50 more.
Officer McFarland, have you been able to work with them on this, or is this the first time you've gotten a chance to talk to them?
Magistrate, when it comes to signage, the first time I observe it, I enter the establishment, let them know it's a violation, have them clean it up. They do it. Then 2-3 weeks down the road, they do it again. Then I send notice. They clean it up. Then they do it again. It's a revolving door when it comes to corporate signage, because they get it from corporate and they feel that they're obligated to display them.
I'll give you the last word.
So he said we do it again. No, we only receive package in a certain times. So we put them up, and that's only time we put all this.
No, but now, our company have 38 location, and I already, let the owner know that one location that I have, that we not allowed to put the poster, and we should not get it. Blue Heron, Palm Beach Lakes, and Hang Aaron, and then now 45th Street. And then I still have some in West Palm that, we didn't have any notice yet.
So we remove
We will be
everything.
in compliance, we will not put it up.
Yeah, I guess the question isn't that you're not, I mean, you're in compliance now. The question is what the appropriate fine is. I'm sorry, Officer McFarland, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, sir, go ahead.
Okay. All right, in case CE 2404187, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and live. Find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of 94402B.2-2. I make further finding that said violation is a repeat violation under Section 2635B. I make further finding that the property was in violation of 94402B2-11, but has since come into compliance, but after the required compliance date. As to 94402B.2-2, I find that the property was a repeat violation out of violation for a total of 10 days. I assess a fine of $200 per day for a total fine of $2,000. Thank you for coming in.
That concludes the contested cases. We're going to start back at agenda item number 1, case number CE 24031671, case address 911 32nd Street.
Hey, good morning. Donald Lattimore, and I'm currently employed with the City of West Palm Beach as a code enforcement officer. I was contacted by an email complaint regarding parking on grass in a commercial trailer parked on property illegally. I initiated my investigation on March 20th, 2024 at the property located at 911 32nd Street. The property is occupied. There I observed the following violations: 94-71-C, outside storage; 18-106-K, landscape maintenance; 94-302-A-3, fence permit needed; 94-4-82-A, parking requirements, which is parking on the grass. The city issued a NOV to the property owner, which identified the violation, my contact information, and notice of this hearing date. The notice of violation was sent by certified mail on March 26, 2024, and regular mail on March 26, 2024 by the city clerk. Certified mail was returned. I posted the NOV on the property on March 27th, 2024, and City Hall on March 27th, 2024. I completed an affidavit of posting on March 27th, 2024, and it is in the case file. I revisited the property on May 13th, 2024, which was this past Monday, and I observed the property not to be in compliance with the following code sections: 94-302-A-3, which is the fence permit that is still needed, and 94-482-A, parking requirement, in which the truck is still parked pretty much on the, not on paved parking. I took the photographs at the initial investigation and when I revisited the property. The following photograph shows the violation still exists on the property. These photographs accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed during my investigation. I have not made contact with the property owner or received any notice that a representative will be presented to speak today on the owner's behalf. The city is asking for an additional 90 days to comply. If no compliance, a daily fine of $100. The city requests nothing further.
So as we sit here today, the only violations that are not compliance are fence permits, 94-302-A3, and parking requirements, 94-482-A?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so the other two, 94-71-C and 18-106-K are good, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to get a chance to go through, you said you hadn't been in contact with the owner?
Yes, I spoke with the owner's, I believe it's the owner's son. The mother was in a rush. I believe she's the wife of the owner, but she is Spanish speaking. So I did speak with the son. The son is roughly between the ages of 17 to 20. He tried to translate for the mother, but I did walk him around the property to show him. I gave them significant improvement on the grass because I do see that they are trying to bring that up to code, which was significantly brought up. There's still some patchy spots, but I believe after the sod and seeding with the rainy season, it will continue to catch and grow. I showed him where the fence was, my initial photos, and then the current photos, how the fence is continuing to pretty much break down its integrity, and that a fence permit is needed. I believe 60 days could get the job done, but given the language barrier, and I want to make sure that I can explain everything to them, if that's needed, which may require me obtaining a code officer that does speak Spanish, so the additional 30 days to help this family out to bring everything up to code, or $100.
In the fence, are you suggesting that they have to replace the entire fence or just a portion of it?
So the fence does not have a permit at all.
Okay.
So during the fence permitting process, that will be determined once the fence is brought up to code, if the repairs alone would suffice, or if the integrity of the fence continuing to break down need a complete permit.
Okay, so you're asking for 60 days to get a permit?
No, I'm asking for 90 days.
90 days, okay.
And the additional 30 days is because of a potential language barrier that we may run into.
And the notice of violation was sent cert mail?
Yes, the notice of violation was sent certified mail on March 26, 2024.
And was it signed for?
No, it was returned, and the posting took place on March 27, 2024. Regular mail was also submitted on March 26, 2024.
Okay, and you have had at least conversations with the property owner's son, right?
I believe he's the property owner's son, correct. The property is in a trust, so it's hard to determine who owns the property.
But there has been some compliance, so.
There has been significant compliance, yes.
And the pictures that we observed a little earlier, did they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes.
All right, I'd like to move the testimony, photographs, and the record and the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as the composite exhibit. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add here. KCE 24031671, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient to find the property in violation of Code Section 94302A3, fence permits, the permit needed for the fence repair, and 94482A, the parking on a non-paved surface. Respondent has 90 days to come to compliance or fine up to $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 2, case number CE 24031654, case address 2090 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, 601, has been rescheduled. Agenda item number 7, case number CE 24041839, case address 914 13th Street.
I have a note here that case was rescheduled.
What case?
Oh, we're on 7.
Number 2 was rescheduled, and then I just called number 7.
Oh, my apologies.
Good morning, John Frosco, West Palm Beach Code. 914 13th Street was cited. I personally observed the violations myself, doing ordinary patrols. The violations that were cited were 74-4-C-3, unsanitary conditions such as litter, vegetation, debris, storage, vagrant belongings, and in itself the overgrowth brings a higher volume of bugs and vermin. 74-4-C-5, responsibility for cleaning up the entire premise, including half of the alleyway. 74-4-C-4, obstruction of the alleyway. There are palm trees that are actually growing into the alleyway area. And the provision of the code that failure to comply, that the city would ask for an abatement or require an abatement. To date, none of the properties were brought into compliance.
Good morning. Have you made contact with the property owner?
No, sir, I haven't. And my investigation shows that it's a Delaware LLC, not registered in the state of Florida.
Okay. And have we sent, I observed a photograph of the posting. You posted the notice on a sign and stuck it in the ground?
Yes.
Okay. And did the notice of violations, did we send them certified mail?
Yes, if I may, I'm not good at a scripted.
No,
sort
go
of-
ahead, go ahead.
So regular and certified mail was sent out on April 4th April 19th of 2023, and the property was posted the same day along with City Hall, April 4th, 2023.
Okay. And do you know if it was signed for, the certified mail?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Do you know where it was mailed to?
Whatever was posted in the property appraiser's office.
Okay, and that's the Delaware address?
That would be the tax roll. I did try to investigate in my investigation to see if the LLC was registered in the state of Florida. It is not. So there is no other mailing address other than what's available in the tax roll.
Okay. And when was the last time you revisited the property?
I'm sorry?
You revisit the property?
The property was revisited this morning. It is still not in compliance. All violations still exist on the property.
Okay.
And the city would be requesting a 10 days or an abatement on this property.
Okay. And the photographs you've seen here, they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
I personally took all the photos, walked the property, observed all of the violations that exist. I even spoke to the vagrant that has her personal belongings on the property, and she asked me not to take them, and I said I couldn't guarantee that the property would be taken because the owners could come and comply the property.
Okay. And you're asking for an abatement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'd like to move the testimony, photographs and record and evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept into evidence the evidentiary case file in this case, the city's composite exhibit.
I'm sorry, Magistrate, I had a tough time hearing you.
No, I was just accepting into evidence the documents. If you're looking for an abatement, you must be arguing that there's a health safety issue with the... Can you
Yes, sir.
speak to that?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why you believe there's a health safety issue on the lot?
The unsanitary conditions that you have, all of the debris, the vegetative debris, and in the overgrowth itself is a higher attraction for vermin and insects, which create an unsanitary environment in itself. In addition to that, a lot of times when you have, even though we don't live in a rural area, you have animals, possums, raccoons, that you have snakes, rats, rodents. They like to die in hidden places, and once they do, it creates an unsanitary condition by what it attracts.
So the conditions of the property constitute habitat for vermin
Yes.
and potential disease?
The litter and the food and the debris, yes, sir, it does.
Okay. All right, in case CE 2404189, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, I find the property in violation of the listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to those conditions that constitute those violations. I make further finding that said violations constitute a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of the city of West Palm Beach. I order the respondent to bring the property into compliance within 10 days. Failure to bring the property into compliance, I hereby authorize the city to enter the property and abate any and all of these violations. I charge the cost of said abatement against the property and property owner.
Agenda item number 8, case number CN 24030402, case address 727 Tuscaloosa Street.
John Frasca, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance. This property was declared a chronic nuisance on March 26th of 2024. Certified mail was sent on March 27th of 2024, and the property was posted March 26th of 2024. To give you a background on this case, originally 727 Tuscaloosa and the conditions of the property were reported to me by the sanitation department. So since then, I've been keeping an eye on the property, and I observed the conditions and the violations in the grounds, deteriorating condition of the structure and the two base cases that are the premise for the reoccurring events of the chronic nuisance. So that was based on, this is actually based on 3 prior adjudicated cases, and if you'd like, I could read the cases that it was based on, where the magistrate made an order of compliance and it was not complied.
Sure, please do.
CE 21070132, that was for excessive landscape overgrowth, swale, and outdoor storage. That case was actually fined, and it's set at $14,400. The second case that I have is CE 23060219, and that was for overgrowth and unsanitary conditions with the magistrate's order, and that was entered on July 19th of 2023, or 15 days or an abatement, which the city abated that. On July 23rd of 2023 by the city contractor, was complied on 8/30 of 2023, and the city had to bill an invoice for that property for $1,136.70. The next case, CE 23060220, exterior wall repair, exterior paint, windows, and garage door and address characters, that was non-compliant with the magistrate's order for the exterior structure. Currently, the property is overgrowth and strewn with some vegetative debris. All of these vents are either existing or reoccurring, but the ones that are reoccurring are the grounds maintenance. So the city is asking magistrate, beg your forgiveness because I skipped a step in this. They did not give me the action plan that was requested for violation code 54403A in the declaration, which asked for an action plan. So that was my basis for that. I did not receive an action plan, so it violated the code, and notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent out. So to refocus, we have the basis for the declaration of the chronic nuisance. And so the notice of violation, notice of hearing then was sent out and posted. And they violated 54403A by not giving an action plan, and 54403B specifically for not submitting the action plan to curtail the nuisance activity. So now the city is requesting as a resolve is to enter a service or to declare the property formally, declare the property as a chronic nuisance and enter a service order, allowing us the city to abate all the offenses and then bill them back to the owner of the property.
Have you been in contact with the property owner?
No, sir.
Okay, have you made contact with the property owner in any of the prior cases that you just?
No, sir.
Okay. The cert mail, was it return signed?
I don't know, sir.
Okay. When you go to the property, is there anybody in there?
No, sir, it's vacant. It's partially boarded up, and it's in pretty bad shape. It looks like it could be, it's not livable, it's not habitable.
And I think it was 3 prior cases, right?
There are three prior cases that I made a fact is to support the chronic nuisance case.
Okay, and has there been any level of compliance? And if so, what was that up until this time?
The first case that I mentioned, I was not privy. That was another code officer's case.
Okay.
So I took it as adjudicated non-compliant with a fine running, and then it came into compliance. The other 2 cases I actually wrote myself and followed through on the procedure that was needed to comply the grounds maintenance, and then the structure and the condition of the structure was cited, and I gave them I believe, 6 months to comply that, and I heard nothing. There's been nothing, no
Okay.
response. It appears to be an abandoned property at all, you know.
Okay.
And the only people that I actually spoke to were the neighbors about the property and their concerns.
They must be thrilled.
No, they're not.
And the photographs we're looking at, you took these photographs?
I did, sir.
And do they truthfully and accurately represent the observation of the property and the violations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to move the photographs, testimony, and record into evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept the documents and evidence of city's composite exhibit. I think you've covered it. I don't really have anything else to ask you. In case CN 240300402, make the following findings of fact and law. I find a pattern of nuisance activity does exist on the property. I affirm the city's declaration that the property is a chronic nuisance, and I hereby enter a chronic nuisance service order authorizing the city to perform any nuisance abatement services that are needed on the property and to charge the cost of those abatement activities against the property owner.
Thank you, sir.
Agenda item number 10, case number CE 24041786, case address 3411 Broadway.
Good morning. Good morning. Jesus Mendiola, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I discovered the violations at 3411 Broadway on April 3rd, 2024. The apartments did look occupied. The violations I discovered were 18-106A, clean and sanitary, which is being the alleyway, which they have a lot of trash and debris and other sorts of like a mattress and box springs. 74-4-C-5, which is alleyway maintenance, which also ties into that. Also 78-6-2, which are the missing rear address characters in the alleyway. The property was cited on April 10th, 2024. Certified and regular mail were sent on April 10th, 2024. The notice of violation was posted on the property and City Hall on April 18, 2024. I completed the affidavit posting. It's in the files. The photographs taken accurately and truthfully depict the violations I observed. I had no contact with the property. I did have previous violations that were cited, but they were complied. As of yesterday, the property is still in violation of 18-106A, 74-4-C-5, 78-6-2. The city is asking for 30 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Sorry, how many days and how much?
30 days and $100.
Good morning. As it pertains to 78-6-2, the numbering, I just saw a photograph where there were some numbers. Can you explain, I guess, the deficiency or the violation?
If it's probably, if they can go back to the picture, it might be the FPL post that you saw. But that's the front. The rear address is in the back in the alleyway that are missing.
Okay, so it's missing the front.
No, that's the front. It's missing the rear.
Got it,
In the
okay,
alleyway.
okay. You haven't made contact with the owner?
No, I haven't had any contact with the owner.
And the violation was sent cert mail?
Yes.
Do you know-
Certified, regular, and it was posted on the property. Sure they got it since some of the violations were cleared up.
Okay, yeah, so some of the violations were complied with, right?
Yes.
Okay. Pictures you took that we were seeing here accurately, truthfully represent the observations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'd like to move the photos, testimony, and record of the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept the testimony and evidence of the city's composite exhibit. In case CE 24041786, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice sufficient. I find the property in violation of listed code sections. I adopt by reference the testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations, those specifically trash and debris on the property and the missing number locations and trash and debris in the adjoining right-of-way. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance or fine of up to $100 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 11, case number CE 24021529, case address 4024 Greenwood Ave.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Kay Weaver, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. While riding Through my zone, I observed several violations at 4024 Greenwood Ave. I took photos of the property and violations which were accurately and truthfully depict the violations that I observed. I then initiated my investigation citing the following violations. 94-482-A, parking requirements has been complied. 94-71C, outdoor storage. 78-6-1, numbering size and type. 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, including pressure washing, edging, etc. 18-106G, paint or touch up structure. The notice of violation was posted at the property and City Hall on April the 4th of 2024. The affidavit of posting was completed on April the 4th, and a copy was placed in the case file. Certified and regular mail was sent to the mailing address listed on PAPA on March the 4th of 2024. Certified mail was signed for. I revisited the property on May 14th of 2024 and observed the property still in violation of the 94-71C, 78-6-1, and 18-106-A and 18-106-G. Reinspection photos were taken on May the 14th showing the remaining violations. They were uploaded to the case. I haven't had any contact with the property owner. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance or $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
The notices of violations and affidavits were sent via cert mail?
Yes,
Okay, do you know if it was signed for?
it was signed for, yes.
Okay. The pictures shown here accurately and truthfully represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to move the photos, testimony, record, and the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. What is the outdoor storage? Is that the trash and debris that's sitting
There's
around?
trash and debris, and then some pictures in the back shows other items near the river yard. That's the front.
The one picture of the stuff along the side of the house?
Yeah, just that, and
Yeah,
then
that.
some in the back. Yeah, it's just in several little areas. There's some stuff all about, yes.
What's wrong with the character numbers? Because I think I saw them.
If you go back up, to the next one. Okay, right there. So you can barely see it from here, but from the roadway, you can't see it at all. They did at one point have some, but then they put the mailbox up, some white ones like right behind the mailbox, but you can't see those at all now. So they just need to put bigger characters, and it is supposed to be on the structure and visible from the roadway.
Okay, the paint?
Okay, there's some different spots there that I have highlighted, and that's on one side, and they have some more at different areas of the property where there was some stucco and then some paint just missing. So they can basically touch up the areas and not have to paint the whole structure if they choose not to.
And the clean and sanitary, that's the junk here?
The junk and also the pressure washing of the sidewalks and the driveway and everything.
And you said you had no contact with the owner?
No, it's an LLC, but no one has reached out to me.
All right, in case CE 2402159, I make the following findings of fact and law. If I notice is sufficient, find the property in violation of listed code sections, I adopt by reference to testimony of the code officer as to the nature of those violations. Responded to 60 days to bring the property in compliance or fine up to $100 per day may issue.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 14, case number CE 24041850, case address 1401 Village Boulevard, 2116.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 22nd, I found in our system that the property at 1401 Village Boulevard, Unit 2116, business tax receipt had expired. I initiated a NOV for the violation of 22-441 rental license required and 22-32-A certificate of use. The property as well as City Hall was posted May 1st. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent April 22nd. Certified mail was signed for May 7th. I did have a conversation over the phone with the property manager. She ensured that the bill would be paid. I also emailed an invoice of what was owed and steps to go online and make payment. As of this morning, city has not received any type of payment from this property owner. I want to also irradiate that this property has not had a valid rental license in the past 3 years. With that being said, city's recommending 10 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Good morning. When you spoke with the property manager, she acknowledged it was a rental unit?
Yes.
Okay. And did you observe or at least have knowledge of any tenants that were still in that property? Or did she acknowledge that?
Yes, and I also reached out to the on-site management as well. They did confirm it's still being rented. And what I could observe when I did the posting, there was a welcome mat there. That's usually a good indication that someone's in it.
Okay. And could you go back to the last photograph?
I'm sorry, you said the property manager confirmed that the property was being rented?
Yes, and also the on-site management as well.
And then the Ponte Verde sign, is that, I guess, the property management company?
Yes, the Ponte Verde.
Okay. And you explained to the property manager, the individual you spoke with, that you...
I spoke to her, the ownership property manager, and we had a conversation, and she assured it would be paid. And I emailed her more than once the invoice and how to make payment.
Okay, and as of today...
As of today, it's still unpaid.
Okay. The photographs we observed truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'd like to move the testimony, photographs, and record in the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents, testimony, and evidence as city's composite exhibit. In case CE 2404185, I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. I found the property in violation of 22441 and 22332A. The missing certificate of use and business tax receipt. Respondent has 10 days to come to compliance, or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 15, case number CE 24041764, case address 1743 Village Boulevard, 203.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 9th, I observed in our system that the property at 1743 Village Boulevard, Unit 203, did not have a valid rental license and COU. I then issued a notice of violation for 22-44-1 rental license required and 22-32-A certificate of use. The property as well as City Hall was posted May 1st. Certified mail was sent April 9th. Certified mail was returned May 7th. I made every stitch effort to reach out to this property owner by phone, several messages, by email. I also reached out to the on-site property management to help me reach out to this owner. To no avail. I have not made contact with the ownership. But what I could have observed at the time of posting, that there was a welcome mat, items on the balcony, giving the impression that it is still being occupied. The conversation I had along with the on-site management, that it indeed is still being occupied and indeed recognized as a rental unit. I want to also get on record that this property has been out of compliance with no valid rental license for the past 3 years. With that being said, the city is recommending 10 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
And similar to last time, you've been in contact with the property manager?
On-site management, yes, sir.
Okay. We haven't gotten in contact with the owner.
I can't seem to make contact with this ownership.
Okay.
I've tried everything that I could that was provided to the city. I've sent several emails. I've left several messages, and no response.
Okay, you believe 10 days is reasonable for compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's just a matter of
And the photographs?
a few clicks, and it can be taken care of.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just a matter of a few clicks, and it can be taken care of.
Okay. The photographs you observed that we looked at here today, do they truthfully and accurately represent the violations as you observed them?
Yes, sir.
And as of today, they're still in compliance, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to move the photos, testimony, and record in the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence, the city's composite exhibit. You were seeking 10 days, 200 again?
Yes, 10 days.
All right, in case CE 240411764, make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of listed code sections. Give the respondent 10 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $200 per day may issue.
Agenda item number 16, case number CE 24041828, case address 4338 Brewster Lane.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 15th, on patrol of my zone, I observed violations at 4338 Brewster Lane. Those violations consist of 34-102-B, an operative vehicle, unregistered vehicle being stored on property. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted May 3rd. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent April 15th. Certified mail was returned May 6th. I've had no contact with the property owner. With that being said, city is recommending 15 days to bring the property into compliance or $50 a day until compliance is achieved.
Can you scroll? So it's inoperable because the registration's expired?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how long has it expired for? Do you remember?
Since 2020.
Since 2020?
Yes, sir.
And during your inspections, has that vehicle moved?
No, sir.
To your observation, at least?
That's one neighborhood that I well traversed in, as you may know. And every time I visit that property, that vehicle still remains.
Okay, and the photographs we're looking at today truthfully and accurately represent your observations as you observe the violations?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'd like to move the photographs, testimony, and record into the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence into evidence as city's composite exhibit. Case CE 240411828. I make the following findings of fact and law. I find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 34102B, specifically in inoperable vehicle because it's not properly registered. Respondent has 15 days to come to compliance or fine of up to $50 per day may issue.
Agenda item 17, case number CE 24041878, case address 4800 North Military Trail.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On April 24th, on patrol of my area, I observed 4800 North Military Trail in violation of 18-106-K, landscape maintenance. Property is failing to be maintained. Property was also cited for 74-4-C-4. Vegetation creeping into right-of-way. The property was also cited for a repeat violation, 26-35-B. Property was also cited for 18-106-B, excessive growth, grass overgrown, as well as trees are overgrown on the property as well. And the property was also cited for 18-106-A, clean and sanitary, trash found throughout property. The underlining case Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent April 26th. Certified mail was signed for and executed May 7th. The underlying case in the repeat violation is CE 22070348. That order was issued September 7th, 2022. That in particular property did come into compliance on August 23rd, 2022. A one-time fine was issued in that order as well. We did have a respondent at that hearing. I tried to let that representative understand that the property must be maintained at all times. Anytime there's overgrowth, it needs to be cut back. It doesn't seem to have resonated with the ownership because the property is out of compliance once again. The property looks like a Serengeti. They tend to cut portions of the lot and neglecting the rest of the parcel. With that being said, city is recommending $250 a day until compliance is achieved. The property is still out of compliance on all violations. I made extensive efforts to ensure that everyone that's attached to this parcel was notified by certified mail, and it was signed for on May 7th as well. I've had no contact besides the previous contact I had with the previous cases.
Okay, so you haven't made contact with the owner, but you did confirm violation was received and signed for via cert mail.
No, it was received and signed for.
Yeah, okay. So it's been continued non-compliance since, the underlying case I see here is CE 22070348, so since 2022?
No, it's been non-compliant since April 24th of this year.
Okay.
That's the underlying case for the repeat violation.
My apologies. And it's the same violations as the underlying violation in the previous case?
Exact same ones.
Okay. And the pictures we observed today truthfully and accurately represent your observations of the violations as you saw them?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'd like to move the testimony, photographs, and record of the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as the city's composite exhibit. So the city is seeking a repeat violation at $250 a day beginning when? When was it?
To
noticed as
begin
a repeat violation?
April 24th of this year.
So the city is seeking $250 a day beginning April 24th and continuing until the property comes into compliance?
Correct.
And you testified that you have not had any contact this time around?
Yep, I made every stitch effort.
All right. Case,
I was hoping it was understood from the last hearing that they need to maintain the property, but it didn't get through.
Hope springs eternal. In case CE 240417878, I make the following findings of fact on the law. I find notice sufficient. Find the property in violation of illicit code sections. I make specific finding that said violations constitute a repeat violation under 263435B of the Code of the City of West Palm Beach. I hereby assess a fine of $250 per day beginning April 24th and continuing until the property comes into compliance.
Agenda item number 19, case number CE 24031694, case address 14204 Glenmore Drive.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On March 28th, I observed that the property at 14204 Glenmore Drive did not possess a rental license or certificate of use in our system. I then initiated a notice of violation for 22-441, rental license required, and 22-32-A, certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted May 1st. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent April 1st. Certified mail was returned May 6th. I did reach out to the on-site management to confirm that the property is indeed a rental property. I've had no contact with the current owner. With that being said, the city is recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Okay, so property manager confirmed there is a tenant and it is a rental unit?
Yes, I did confirm with the on-site management that it is indeed a rental unit.
Okay, and the documents and photographs were being shown here today truthfully and accurately represent your observations and the information you received
Yes, sir.
for this property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to move the testimony, photographs, and documents and record into the evidence. Thank you.
Without objection, I'll accept those documents and evidence as city's composite exhibit. And CE 240311694, and make the following findings of fact on the live. Find notice is sufficient. Find the property in violation of 22441 and 2232A, specifically operating a business without a certificate of use or a business tax receipt. Respondent has 30 days to bring the property in compliance, or a fine of $200 per day may issue.
Thanks, sir.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that concludes the regular agenda items.
We scheduled for 11:30 on the, okay, so we're going to adjourn till 11:30. And I hereby call us back into order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach. I am the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for today's hearing. I want to begin by explaining how the process is going to work. This is the special other matters agenda. Cases are going to be heard in the order in which they appear on the agenda. Please make sure that you have signed in the rear of the chamber. If you have not, please check with the code officer to make sure you have done so. The cases are going to be called in the order in which they appear. The city will present the case. You will have an opportunity to ask me for whatever it is that you are asking me to do. It is important at this stage that when you come up to the podium and ask me, that you ask me specifically for the remedy that you're seeking and give me the reasons for why you should do it. It's particularly helpful if you're able to couch that in terms of the requirements of the statute. If you have any questions as we're going through this, feel free to ask them. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means that the formal rules of evidence do not apply. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. So if you're going to testify today, or you think you might testify, or there's a possibility that you might testify, I'd ask that you rise, raise your right hand so you can be sworn in. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
Yes.
Please be seated. The city can call the first one.
Agenda item number 20, case number CE 19020023, case address 1548 6th Street.
Is anyone here for this case? Yes. All right. When you hear your case heard, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side.
Magistrate, they're also here for case 22 as well. Would you like to hear both of them at the same time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Same property, right?
Yes, same property address.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so in addition to agenda item number 20, agenda item number 22, case number CE 200-70176, case address 1548 6th Street.
All right. Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. For agenda item number 20, case number CE 190-20023. This case was originally cited February 2nd, 2019. They were cited for unpaved parking and outdoor storage. This went to a special magistrate hearing March 20th, 2019. It was ordered for the fine to start as of April 5th, 2019. That ran for 40 days at $100 a day for a total of $4,000. This was complied on May 15th, 2019. Property, in this case, the case was, service was achieved by way of posting. This is the same owner. There's been 9 cases with code enforcement under their ownership. The city requests to reduce this particular fine to 25%, which is $1,000. And for agenda item number 22, case number CE 200-70176. This case was originally cited in July 11th of 2020. They were cited for screening needed for recreational vehicle that did not have a permit to be on the property. This case went to magistrate hearing August 19th, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of September 21st, 2020. That ran for 872 days at $100 a day for a total of $87,200 and was complied February 10th, 2023. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. Again, same owner, 9 cases with code enforcement under their ownership. The city requests a reduction of 25% of this lien, which would be $21,800.
Can you gentlemen tell me your names, please?
My name is Bobby Mills.
And I'm Timo Payameki.
And what is your relation to the owner of the property?
I'm a good friend of the owner, and also I have power of attorney from him.
And I manage some of his other properties.
Manage some of the owner's other properties?
Yes, I'm a property manager for a townhouse he owns in Riviera Beach and also for a house he owns in Magonia Park.
Okay.
The 6th Street house has never been a rental, so I haven't managed that property.
Did you submit the power of attorney to the city ahead of time?
Yes, I have done,
Okay.
and I have given it to Monique.
So what are you asking me for and why should I grant it?
10%. total fines,
Why would I do that?
because everything was compliant. So initially, when this all started to happen, the owner is Finnish and lives in Finland. The property address is 6th Street, which is his mailing address, but all the violations were being mailed and sent to that address, and there was nobody there to collect that. So obviously, there was no communication to the owner, so he had no idea these violations were initially taking place.
Sir, are you suggesting the city was improperly noticing?
No, I'm just saying that they may have been delivering posting the information or delivering the information to the mailbox at 6th Street, but there was nobody there, nobody living there at the time. So
Was that the mailing address listed in the property appraiser's records?
that is the mailing address, yes, sir. But
Sounds like-
again, the owner being Finnish doesn't understand. That was his primary residence when he comes to visit United States. So I don't think he knows that he needs to have an address in Finland, and I don't know that the city of West Palm Beach would mail information to him in Finland.
Well, that was,
Tell you what I know.
that wasn't an option to have an out of the country address, and also at some point, the mail, since it was collecting in the mailbox, it was returned to the U.S. Post Office back, so that's what happened.
This went on for 872 days.
I don't believe that the wave runner was parked in the yard for 872 days.
No.
The initial complaint from Valerie Luster, the code enforcement inspector, was for some removable pavers that were put down by the driveway, and she said that because of that, that there was a driveway extension with no permit pulled. Another code enforcement officer came out and looked at it while Valerie was out of the temporarily off duty, and he said that because they were removable pavers, he didn't see any issue with it.
I did call the code enforcement. There was a code enforcement officer, Brian or Chris, one of those names. I called him up, he came over, and I saw that, okay, these are the pavers, and, do they have to be removed and all that? So he said, I'm okay with that. So, I signed that off. But he pointed a couple other things on the house what needed some repairs. I said, fix those, call me back, and then I come to re-inspect the place. So he came over, and I assumed everything was done by that time. He said, okay, no worries. So I tried to call him afterwards, but he was no more available.
And speaking, if I understand it correctly, the complaint is that the wave runner was in violation for 800 and something days?
You tell me.
Well, I think that's what he read in his complaint. But I asked Timo about that, and he said the wave runner was removed within 30 days or less.
Yeah, it was removed, the only thing remaining was those pavers, which really
But nobody notified the city that it was in compliance.
well, like I said, I called Chris or Brian, the code enforcement officer who came over and inspected, and he was okay with that. Because they were removable pavers, there's not permanent fixture or anything like that.
And there were 9 other code enforcement cases on this property?
900?
9? 9
There
other,
were things like the soffit needed to be painted, some soffit work needed to be repaired, minor things that were taken care of.
Well, there
You
was,
know, it was like, once this started, it just continued every time there was something else minor they wanted to have done.
as we had done those two things, there was more things what they needed attention, which I was there personally, I took care of those within time. And so there was it was signed off.
let me let the city respond.
So, Magistrate, in reference to the case that they're referring to, they were originally cited for the pavers. However, that was stricken from the record as I'm assuming they complied that before it went to hearing.
Is that the
this case was strictly-
105.1?
Correct. So looking at the case notes, this case really was just about the recreational vehicle that was parked there. And per the notes from the code officer, it was still out of compliance until February 10th of 2023.
Did the city re-inspect over this 872 days? Is there any evidence of that in the,
17 when the.
Prior to it coming into compliance, the last reinspection was done August 18th of 2020, before it was brought into compliance.
and compliance was 2023, right?
Correct.
So the city doesn't really know what it looked like over the last couple of years? No?
No, that's the last record I have, Your Magistrate.
All right, I'll tell you what I'll do on case 20, which is CE 190-20023. I'll take the city's recommendation and reduce that to $1,000 payable. How much time do you need?
I'm sorry?
How much time does he need to pay? $1,000 for the first line?
Well, let's put 30 days, but I can take care of it
All
earlier.
right, 30 days. On the other one, I'll reduce it to $12,000. 30 days, good for you?
Can we do 90 days on that?
I can. 90 days. Thanks for coming in.
I have the order, if you would like to take it. 1 second, though.
You're going to want that.
Agenda item number 21, case number CE 200-80274, case address 2215 Florida Avenue.
Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 2215 Florida Avenue was originally cited August 25th, 2020. They were cited for various building codes, a wall and footage that needed to be installed that required a permit. They needed to pass inspections for that as well. There was a stop work order that was issued. This went to a special magistrate hearing November 18th, 2020. It was ordered for the fine to start as of December 19th, 2020. That ran for 1,242 days at $100 a day. It was complied on November 29th, 2022. And at the time of its compliance, the fine was reduced because of the compliance date to $71,000. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This was done under the previous owner who's here today. We have agreement, magistrate, beforehand to reduce the fine to $5,000 payable within 30 days.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Stephen Weston,
And what is your relation to the property, sir?
former owner.
The former owner?
Yes.
Yeah. The city's representing that you have an agreement to reduce it to $5,000 payable within 30 days. Is that your understanding, sir?
Yes.
All right, in case CE 200-80274, fine is reduced to $5,000 payable within 30 days.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 23, case number CE 22030305, case address 1136 Magnolia Street. And I also have agenda item number 25, case number CE 23020206, case address 1318. Oh, I'm sorry. Disregard, I apologize.
Yeah, it's just the one owner, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just agenda item number 23.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The case addressed at 1136 Magnolia Street was originally cited on March 16th, 2022. They were cited for business tax and certificate of use violation and unpermitted use of the land and reasonable accommodations. This went to a special magistrate hearing June 1st, 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of July 5th, 2022. This ran for 513 days at $250 a day for a total of $128,250. And this was brought into compliance November 30th of 2023. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This is the representative for the owner that's here today before us, magistrate. We have an agreement beforehand to reduce the lien to 10%, which is $12,825 payable within 30 days.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear your question.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Dave Markarian, and I'm a lawyer here in the community. I'm honored to be here representing MCR and its owner, Mr. Matt Ryan. I'm prepared to go through each of the criteria that the magistrate may consider in reducing the lien and to explain the circumstances and to go through the other criteria that may be of interest. I understand that there's an agreement, and if you would like me to go through.
I mean, that'd be very helpful if we were arguing, but since we're not arguing and it appears that there's an agreement here, are you in agreement?
100%, and I'm very much appreciative. You know, the first criteria is the gravity of the violation. I don't consider there to be such a thing as a minor violation because codes preserve the integrity of our community, and we're building a great community here, so I take it all seriously. And that is why I've been involved driving, shepherding this process since the first violation on behalf of the owner. I'm very appreciative for the way the city has helped us come into compliance and to collaborate with us to get this very genuine and sincere effort to contribute to the community. That's what this is about. It's an owner-driven desire to give back. And if you're comfortable, I'm comfortable, and we can conclude.
I will say I generally do think that these are better resolved through agreement. So I am appreciative both of when the city and the respondent can sit down together and figure out how to resolve these. If both sides are in agreement, I'm not going to second guess that. So in this case, I'm going to reduce the fine from $128,250 to $12,825 payable within 30 days.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
thank you very much for allowing us to appear.
I'm sorry, I missed that. You said 12,850?
Yep, 10%.
Thank you.
Right.
825.
Did I say it wrong?
Thank you, Mr. Marcus.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
30 days.
30 days, yeah.
Agenda item number 24, case number CE 21040192. Case address is 250 Alpine Road.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 250 Alpine Road was originally cited April 8th, 2021. They were cited for having artificial turf in the yard and swell area. This went to a special magistrate hearing on May 5th, 2021. It was ordered for the fine to start as of April 1st, 2022. That ran for 376 days at $50 a day for a total of $18,800. This was brought into compliance April 12th of 2023. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This under the same owner. This is their representative here today on their behalf. We do have an agreement beforehand to reduce the fine to $2,500 payable within 30 days.
Sir, would you like to tell me your name, please?
Guy Rabideau, I'm a lawyer for Judith Barron, owner.
The city is representing that you're in agreement to reduce the fine to $2,500. Did we have a pay date, 30 days?
30 days, yes, sir.
30 days?
We
Payable
are-
within 30
we
days?
are in
Is that-
agreement,
Is
yes.
that your understanding? Okay. All right, KCE 21040192, I'm going to reduce the fine from $18,800 to $2,500 payable within 30 days. Thank you for coming in, sir.
Agenda item 25, case number CE 23020206, case address 1318 13th Street.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The case for 1318 13th Street. They were originally cited February 16th, 2023, for unpaved parking and sod needed in the front yard. This went to a special magistrate hearing April 19th, 2023. It was ordered for the fine to start as of June 20th, 2023. This ran for 21 days at $50 a day for a total of $1,050, and this was complied July 11th of 2023. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. It is the same owner, 2 cases with code enforcement under their ownership. The city requests to reduce the fine to $500.
It's 2 cases, 1 case, right?
There's been, they've had 2 cases with code
Oh, 2,
enforcement
okay.
under their
I'm sorry.
ownership. Yes, sir.
I misheard you. My mistake.
Good morning, Jesus, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. I'm interpreting for them since they don't speak English.
Thank you, officer. Can you ask them their names for me, please?
Maricelis Pina y Giovanni Mendez.
Giovanni Mendez.
The city has offered to reduce the fine to $500.
No, no.
They want to do $200 if possible.
Porque compré toda la grama del frente, todo se compró. Ahí no.
She's saying that since she had to pay for a whole new lawn, she thinks it's justifiable for $200 for the fine to be.
The city would like to counter with $250, magistrate.
Ah, bueno, sí. Okay.
They agree.
Yeah, that seems fair to me. All right, in case CE 2302026, actually, how much time do they need to pay?
30 días.
30 days.
All right, in case CE 2302026, I reduce the fine from $1,050 to $250 payable within 30 days.
Thank you.
I'm guessing you must be here for this one, right?
Okay. Agenda item number 26, case number CE 22070082, case address 1300 North Tamarind Avenue.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The address at 1300 North Tamarind Avenue was originally cited July 11th of 2022. They were cited for landscape maintenance, trash and debris to remove from the swell, cleaning sanitary conditions, and the structure needed to be power cleaned. This went to special magistrate hearing September 7th, 2022. It was ordered for the fine to start as of October 11th, 2022. It ran for 520 days at $100 a day for a total of $52,000. And this was brought into compliance March 14th of 2024. Service in this case was achieved by way of posting. This is the representative for the owner. They've had 5 cases under their ownership with code enforcement. However, we do have an agreement beforehand, magistrate, to reduce this lien to $5,000. We did not agree upon a time frame. I would assume 30 days.
30 days is fine.
Okay,
Yes.
payable within 30 days.
You guys are making it easy on me today. City's representing that they'll accept a reduction of 5,000 payable within 30 days. Is that your understanding, sir?
Yes, thank you.
And
Ryan.
for the record, can you tell me your name?
Yes, Ryan Abrams, attorney on behalf of the property owner.
All right, in case CE 220700082, the fine is reduced from $52,000 to $5,000 payable 30 days.
Thank you very much.
And that concludes the introductions.
So we have these 3 police cases, but I don't think they're scheduled till 12:30? Is that right? All right, so we're going to be in recess till 12:30. All right, I'm going to call us back into order. This is the Code Enforcement Special Magistrate for the City of West Palm Beach. These are the police cases, of which we have 3. If you're going to testify today, or you think there's a possibility you might testify, please rise and raise your right hand so I can get you sworn in. Anyone that's going to testify, please rise, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
All right, please be seated. Cases are going to proceed in the order in which they appear on the agenda. When you hear your case heard, go ahead and proceed to the podium on my right-hand side, which technically should be your left-hand side. The officer will present the case. You'll have an opportunity to ask the officer questions or ask questions of any of the witnesses, after which time you can present any evidence of your own, and I will make a decision. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, so the formal rules of evidence do not apply. However, all testimony is taken under oath under penalty of perjury. Please proceed.
Agenda item number 27, case number PD 24040421, case address 309 Clematis Street.
Is it 309 Clematis Street?
Yes.
It is.
So Roxy's. Hi, Sergeant Timothy Colvin, City of West Palm Beach Police. On Friday night, April 5th, into the early mornings of April 6th, I was the supervisor for a alcohol compliance check to ensure that bartenders, point-of-sale vendors are properly checking IDs prior to selling alcohol. In order to do so, I used the confidential source that was 19 at the time of the operation, and a confidential source that went with her that was 22 at the time of the operation. At approximately 0:56 hours in that morning, the confidential sources entered Roxy's at 309 Clematis Street, approached the bar, made contact with the black male bartender, and able to purchase a Corona Extra without having to produce ID. I believe that Roxy's business violated Florida State Statute 562(1)(a)(1) and City Ordinance 6-12. This is their 3rd offense. The city's looking for a $500 fine.
Good afternoon. 3rd offense, do you know when the other 2 offenses occurred?
I do not, and I think it's been a while. Roxy's is normally really good. So the time I've been here, this is probably the 3 times that they've failed ever in 10 years or 15 years. So I imagine the first 2 were probably a long time ago, or at least the first one was a long time ago. I think we gave them a warning like 2 years ago for one that we counted it as a, we didn't charge them, but we gave them a warning. I think it was 2 years ago. Okay, right. Okay. As far as the fine, we waived the fine at that time. That was, I think, 2 years ago. Other than that, the one before that was probably another 2 years before that, at least.
Okay, nothing further from me.
Ma'am, can you tell me your name, please?
Amber Kleist.
And do you work at Roxy's?
Yeah, I'm the office manager during the week.
All right. The floor is yours. Tell me what you'd like me to know.
I mean, like this is probably the 2nd one since I've been there in like 4 years. When it does happen, it's usually a door guy that is not there at the moment, but our bartenders are still supposed to card. I do have a alcohol compliance training in June for the staff.
Okay. Based on the testimony and evidence, I'm going to issue a one-time fine of $500, and hopefully I won't see you again.
All right, agenda item number 28, case number PD 24040420, case address 123 Datura Street.
Timothy Colvin, City of West Palm Beach Police. On Friday night, April 5th, into the early mornings of April 6th, 2024, I was a case supervisor for a alcohol compliance operation designed to check point-of-sale vendors that they were properly checking IDs prior to selling alcohol. At approximately 23:50 hours on April 5th, the council sources went to 123 Datura, actually the after-hours portion of it called 4. They were stopped at the door by a bouncer, a white male. He's not pictured here, white male. He saw that her ID showed that she was underage, still allowed her to go in. And then once inside, they made contact with a clerk, I'm sorry, a bartender, female bartender that sold them a Michelob Ultra without having to present ID. I believe this is their first offense, if I'm correct. The city's asking for a one-time fee of $250.
Good afternoon, Ian Goldstein on behalf of 123 Datura. I have General Manager Carlos Mendez with me. This was This was an unfortunate oversight. As he said, this is the first, it's our first offense. We would ask for a reduced fine.
I'm sorry, you would ask for?
A reduced fine?
I think the fine is code-based, right?
I'm sorry?
I believe the fine is determined by code.
Okay, if that's the case, then I don't normally do these, so I apologize.
Maybe. Well, actually, they could have fined you more technically. But I'll do a one-time fine, $250, and hopefully we won't see you back. Good luck.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 29, case number PD 24040419, case address 521 Clematis Street.
Sergeant Timothy Colvin, City of West Palm Beach Police. On Friday night, April 5th, into the early hours of April 6th, 2024, I was a case supervisor for a alcohol compliance operations on point-of-sale vendors. They were properly checking ID prior to selling alcohol. In order to do so, I used a confidential source that was 19, and a confidential source that was 22 or 23, I can't remember. She was overage. In order to accomplish this tax. At approximately 23:20 hours, the confidential sources entered BRK Republic at 521 Clematis, made contact with the white male bartender, and the 19-year-old was able to purchase the Avoca pineapple mixed drink without having to present proper ID. I believe this is their first offense. I know it's the
Looks like
first
it.
offense under this name. The first offense, the city's asking for a one-time fine of $250.
Sir, can you tell me your name, please?
Joe Lipovich.
The floor is yours.
Sorry?
The floor is yours. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
I can't dispute what happened. Our guys didn't do their job. We've been there coming on 6 years, and honestly, we've been struggling, so they probably never were busy enough for you guys to even get interested in coming in.
No, we've checked before. You guys have always passed.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
That night was a little bit different. It was an outdoor kind of party.
No, we changed our model. So we're a gay-friendly establishment, and it was our, if you want to call it a soft opening night. We're just trying to survive. I mean, it's been a struggle and we opened. We were planned to open St. Patty's Day of COVID, so you can imagine what we've gone through. Long story short, we had no idea we were going to get that kind of a crowd. It went viral through the community, and we just, it was overwhelming. But the bartender's been with us a while. He's been in town for a long time. He's 28. He's not a kid. He didn't do his job. We now have, I have a full-time doorman who's certified. They've all some have already gone through, but others are going through the training again. I think as much as anything, we just didn't expect that kind of crowd, and he got lazy.
I'm going to issue a one-time fine of $250, and I'm going to wish you the best of luck, and I hope your business does well.
I appreciate it. We won't be back.
All right, thank you.
Seeing no further business before us, this meeting is hereby adjourned.